take it from It's a Good Course.
Oh, so now you're the director.
Hey, shove it, Bounce Boy. Let's remember who talked who into doing this shit in the first place. Talking to me in a dogma is one thing, but this.
I'm sorry this is taking you away from whatever gay killers on horses who like to play golf touchy-feely flick you're supposed to be doing this week.
Take it you haven't seen Forces of Nature?
You're like a child. What I've been telling you. Sometimes you gotta do the safe picture. Sometimes you do it for the art. And sometimes it's a payback picture because your friend says you owe him. And then sometimes you go back to the well.
And sometimes you play reindeer games.
No, see, that's just mean.
Welcome to the Balance of Cinema podcast, where we discuss whether movies like Batman Returns or Die Hard count as Christmas movies. My name is Steven, and here's my co-host for this episode, Michael.
I'm Michael, and yes, they both count.
So, this is part one of the two-part Christmas episodes. I decided that for Christmas, we should cover both a Christmas action movie and a Christmas comedy. This week, we'll be focusing on the Christmas action movie, and we'll be discussing the 2000 classic movie Reindeer Games, directed by John Frankenheimer.
Classic?
That's what we'll find out. Next week, we will be talking about, I can say this without a question mark, the 1980s Christmas classic Scrooge, starring Bill Murray.
Great movie.
First, we need to talk about a Ben Affleck movie from the early 2000s, which we'll talk a little bit more about the perception of Ben Affleck around this time and kind of after this in a little bit. But first, I kind of just wanted to go over the movie. This seemed like a kind of looking into this movie, there wasn't really like any like big issues. It seems like this seemed like a pretty standard like, hey, let's get a movie out. It's kind of Christmassy, although this movie did end up coming out in February.
Did it really? That's funny.
Yeah, which is honestly very common because I think even like something like Die Hard came out in June, very famously.
Yeah.
And then Batman Returns, like we said, also a Christmas movie, came out around the same time too. Um, so very rarely do we
Batman
hear
Returns? Oh, like it came out in February?
No, it came out in around the same time as Die Hard did.
Oh, Die Hard, yeah.
Yeah, I
I
double
was looking at
checked.
Reindeer
Die
Games.
Hard.
I was like, no, it didn't. I was a child when Batman Returns came out.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I didn't mention the years. That was probably confusing. This was directed by John Frankenheimer, who has directed like in the 60s and 70s, like directed like quite a few classics, like The Maturing Candidate, 7 Days in May, and Black Sunday. And then at some point in the 90s, he started directing things like The Island of Dr. Monroe.
And Ronin.
Yeah, which I hear Ronin's good. I haven't seen. I
Ronin's
saw
a
like
good
the first 20 minutes. The Island of Dr. Monroe is you if you haven't, you really need to see the documentary that they made about this movie recently. The making of this movie was insane.
Yeah.
John Frankenheimer wasn't even the original director; it was Richard Stanley. But a lot of interesting stuff happened that led to Richard Stanley getting kicked off the movie, and then also donning a costume and then hiding during a couple scenes in the movie. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
John
if you watch
Frankenheimer.
the Val Kilmer documentary, he talks about some of the craziness that went on in this movie.
Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because like he took this movie, he was super excited about it just because he knew Marlon Brando was in it, and that he was like that was like his mentor. That's the reason he got into acting. So he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get to act alongside him. That's awesome." And most of the scenes they were in together, it wasn't even Marlon Brando. It was like a body double.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Um, The movie Reindeer Games is also written by Aaron Kruger, who in high school I probably thought this guy was the worst screenwriter ever. Him and another guy called Skip Woods, they were like my mortal enemies. 15-year-old being like, "Oh God, I can't believe Skip Woods and Aaron Kruger wrote this movie," while they probably were getting paid a lot of money and didn't even care what some teenager was thinking. Um, but Aaron Kruger, he wrote what I consider to be the worst Scream 3. Um,
It's not the word. I'll shut up.
he also wrote the Michael Bay Transformers movies, specifically 2 to 4.
Oh, those are the worst.
Yeah. So he kind of was just like a joke in my mind, but he also wrote The Ring. I think he wrote The Ring too as well, but he wrote the American remake of The Ring, which I think is a good movie. And then he wrote Top Gun Maverick, which is a movie I love. So I don't know. Maybe if he's given the right material, he's not that bad. Maybe if
And
Tom
boy, was he
Cruise,
given the right material with this movie.
yeah, maybe Tom Cruise, maybe if he has Tom Cruise in his ear telling him not to fuck up, he's very good. Tom Cruise just being like, I have people that can make you disappear if this movie's not good.
The same people that stopped me from aging.
It's catching up to him now. Tom Cruise is like the end of Forever Young with Mel Gibson.
He's just suddenly starting to look really old.
Oh, please don't kill us, Tom Cruise. The movie was also it's kind of funny because these are basically the same companies, but the movie was produced by Dimension Films but distributed by Miramax, which they're basically the same company. Harvey Weinstein or the Weinstein brothers, they owned Miramax or they created Miramax, and the Dimension Films was kind of like a spin-off. I think it was originally just for like horror films,
Well,
but then it just
it was for movies that Miramax didn't necessarily want to put under their umbrella right then,
yeah.
so they would release them under Dimension.
And then eventually just Dimension just became, yeah, we'll use the Dimension name for this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Weinsteins are involved in this movie. That's
You know, when I was rewatching it, I just kept seeing Harvey Weinstein's name pop up, and I'm like, "Whew, man, this didn't age well."
I you know what? I'll wait for that fact when we get more into Ben Affleck's career. But yeah, this and the movie was a bomb, making only 32 million on a 42 million dollar budget.
That tracks. So coming off of like 99 to 2000, like the cast of this movie was actually really strong. Like you have a young, Ben Affleck, headlining it, and then Charlize Theron, who was a very like kind of I don't know if she was really unknown at that time, but she was definitely like an up and comer.
Yeah, she was in like Devil's Advocates and Mighty Joe Young at this point, so people kind of knew who she was.
Yeah, and then Gary Sinise, who was in a lot of shit back then. But the thing with this is he got to play a villain, so that was kind of cool. That was different from him.
I wanna mention something about his look, but I'll wait for further into the movie. I'll wait for we discuss more of the plot of the movie. And then even like the side characters are pretty good. Like the kind of like the henchmen in this movie, like Danny Trujillo is one of them. Donald Logue from Blade is one of them. And then the black guy, Clarence Williams III, he was in Half Baked, which is like one of my favorite '90s comedies.
And also Tales from the Hood.
Oh yeah, and he's Hails from the Hood. He was the Crypt Keeper like character
Yeah.
in that one.
Yes, we have the shit. Like my favorite line from him in that movie.
And then for one scene, Isaac Hayes.
And in one scene, Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah. The Isaac Hayes thing is funny to me because if you watch this movie on Tubi like I did, but if you look at the cast, it says Isaac Hayes, and it's like, was this one scene? Does this one scene warrant like such high billing? Because
Yes.
I think his name is even above Gary Sinise too, and the Tubi casting this.
That's insane. Because all he does is go, monsters in the jello.
A bit of a lesser known actor, but I like him. James Frey, I think his name is Frayne. I think he's in like Buffy, small parts in like True Blood and like Gotham, and he's in like in a couple of other things.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, he's been in a lot of movies. He also plays in a Escape Room Tournament of Champions.
Oh, I did not watch that.
I like those movies. They're fun.
I think Escape Room 1 was enough for me, and then I was like, "Okay, we don't
Oh,
need more of this."
they're fun
Uh,
little movies.
I know that in one of the cuts of the movies, they bring back the girl from Daredevil.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's only, like, in the director's cut she comes back or something, or, like, I don't know, but once again, I didn't watch it, I just kinda heard about that, I thought that was funny.
Apparently, Ron Jeremy is also in this movie.
Yeah, I didn't see him the second time I watched this, and then apparently John Frankenheimer must be a big Ron Jeremy fan, because Ron Jeremy was almost in Ronin, or I think he is in Ronin as, like, a background character.
Okay.
Is this my favorite '90s Ron Jeremy movie? We will find out soon.
Kind of crazy going back and watching this because before I was preparing for this podcast, I hadn't seen this movie in many, many years. But like going back and watching it now and knowing like how today's Ben Affleck movie is, it's usually very serious. And I'm a big Affleck fan. He's a good actor, but like his acting now is just very serious, very solemn, and And then you watch this movie and it's just he is just goofy as all fuck through the entire movie. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot how young Ben Affleck was.
Yeah. Um, I must have watched this when I was, like, a kid, so 2000, so I know I watched this, my dad rented it on VHS from, like, Blockbuster or something,
Yep,
so that
that's how
kinda
I watched
dates
the
it.
first time.
So I must have been, like, 8 when I watched this, because VHSs used to take forever to come out, and now, like, you get a movie on digital in, like, 40 days.
Right.
Sometimes you had to wait, like, a year for a movie to be out in VHS.
You would forget about it in theaters, and all of a sudden you go to the video store, you're like, oh shit, this movie.
So, yeah, I probably watched this when I was 8, back when I definitely should not have watched it.
Get to see
And I
Charlize Theron's boobies.
and I think my concern when I was a kid was probably like, "What the heck? Ben Affleck doesn't shoot anybody.
I
He wants a gun the whole movie, and then he never gets a gun."
know.
Um, and then I remember being confused by the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, I was a grown up and I was still confused with the last 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. So, do you remember liking it when you saw it when you were younger?
I remember thinking it was I liked it. Like I've always been a big Affleck fan, so I enjoyed him in it. I thought it was a fun movie. Watching it now, I had different opinions, but
I purposely did not look up your letterbox score in this one. I don't know if you saw mine.
I did not actually.
Okay, cool. We can go in this a little mystery. I did want to talk a little bit about Ben Affleck's interesting career at this point. Like Michael said, it's very different than what it is now. He was in Days of Confused, which was like a pretty big movie at the time, and he was in Glory Days, and then a bunch of like Kevin Smith movies, and then he decided to write the script to Good Will Hunting with his friend Matt Damon, and was a huge movie that year.
Yeah,
They both won the
they
Oscars
won
for Best
Oscars.
Writer. Really big movie, and so he just like immediately shot up like to the A list.
Yeah. And
Um,
speaking of Kevin Smith, I love the joke of when he was in Chasing Amy, he kept trying to ad lib stuff, and Kevin Smith was like, "Dude, just stick to the script. If you want to write a movie, write your own movie." He's like, and then he did, and he won an Oscar. So
yeah, both Matt Damon and Ben Affleck became like pretty big stars. They became like the new like talk of the town basically, and Matt Damon followed it up with movies like Rounders and Saving Private Ryan, Legend of Bagger Vance. Okay, maybe not the Legend of Bagger Vance, but like movies like Rounders and Saving Private Ryan, both really good movies. Ben Affleck followed up his career with Phantoms.
hey, Affleck was the bomb in Phantoms.
I still have never seen Phantoms. For all I know,
What?
Phantoms actually is pretty good.
We're doing a Phantoms podcast at some point.
Should do the Phantoms and Faculty back to back because I feel like those are similar type movies.
Meh. I like both of those movies actually.
I like the Faculty. Um,
But this is funny because like in this era of Ben Affleck's career, he was doing he arguably, I think Ben Affleck had more movies come out around this time than Matt Damon. I think Matt
yeah,
Damon was actually like picking movies kind of carefully, and Ben Affleck was just like, "Sure, I'll do it." But Ben Affleck was notorious back then for because he didn't think about the fact that like you can't just trash a movie you just worked on. You know,
Yeah,
it kind of kills the advertising for it. But back in these days, he would do a movie, he would hate the fucking movie, and then he would just publicly be like, "Oh yeah, that movie sucked."
yeah.
Like he did that with I think Reindeer Games. He did that with Pearl Harbor. He trashed Pearl Harbor so hard.
Armageddon, definitely.
Armageddon, yeah,
Even though I'm like kind of making fun of his output after Good Will Hunting, like I mean, Armageddon, like I don't like Armageddon as most people do, but Armageddon's all right. He's kind of not great in it, but
yeah.
it was a big movie, so that's what's important. Then Shakespeare in Love, one couple was nominated and then won some Oscars. Although I always hear Shakespeare in Love is one of those Oscar movies where people are just like, "What? Why did that win?"
It was a dark year for the Oscars.
Yeah, I mean that's the same year Saving Private Ryan came out, so I'm sure he was happy that he won.
Right?
His movie was better received over Matt Damon, but I mean Saving Private Ryan's like one of the best movies ever. So
Yeah. I've actually never seen Shakespeare in Love.
I've neither have I.
I know. I think it's like Ben Affleck and Gwyneth Paltrow or something. I don't know. I've never seen it.
And then like after that, like Forces of Nature, I've never heard outside of that Jay and Silent Bob joke. Dogma, we both like, which that actually did well too.
Yeah, Forces of Nature was not a bad movie. It's a rom com, but it wasn't bad.
Boy the Room I like, but he's also barely in it.
I never seen it.
It's basically Glengarry Glen Ross, but with like college kids, college
Oh.
age kids. Giovanni Ribisi is the main character in it. It's like the only movie I've seen where Giovanni Ribisi is the lead character in something. And then even after Reindeer Games, they got Pearl Harbor, which is a pretty infamous movie.
Horrible movie.
And then he got to play Jack Ryan in Some of All Fears, which I haven't seen. So
Some of All Fears is really good. Like if you like a political drama, it's good. And Some of All Fears is to this day actually one of the few movies that actually shows like a first person view of a nuke going off.
oh, that's actually kind of interesting. And then we get to a part in his career where probably almost destroyed forever, and he had to become a director. So he was in Daredevil. Kind of fun, but not that good. Director's cut helps it. He was in Geely, which
Geely.
which I think is awful.
It wasn't horrible. And then Jersey Girl.
Yeah. Which I actually like Jersey Girl. I think Jersey Girl got a bad reputation. I think Jersey Girl's actually pretty decent.
The problem with Jersey Girl, like it's a good movie. It has a ton of heart in it. Nobody gave that movie a chance because they knew it had Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah. Which I mean, after Geely, I can understand why people would be like, "Oh fuck, not again." But
Yeah. But Jennifer Lopez dies in the first 15 minutes, so it's okay.
yeah, they cut out like 40 minutes of prologue.
Right.
Harvey Weinstein was like, "Yeah, just cut her out of the movie. We want this to do well," and then it
Right.
didn't.
And then you get Ben Affleck and Liv Tyler through the rest of oh fuck Armageddon.
Yeah. George Carlin's in it though. He's pretty good.
R.I.P.
He also did Paycheck,
The name pretty much sums it up.
which before we started the podcast, me and Michael were talking about John Woo movies, and that's pretty much like the last American John Woo movie before he was like, I think I'm going back to Hong Kong. Has a cameo in Elektra. I think Elektra honestly might be the worst comic book movie ever.
I agree with that actually.
Um, I even watched it again recently, and I was like, "This is awful. Why did I do this?"
That or Immortals. No, Madam Web.
Oh, Madam Web. Yeah, Madam Web's pretty bad. I did that on the podcast,
You did what in the podcast?
Madam Web.
Oh.
But then there's a point to where he finally. It seemed like things were looking up for Ben Affleck. He was in Hollywoodland, where he played former Superman actor George Reeves.
Good movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie. He's really good in that. He has a kind of small appearance in Smoking Aces, but Smoking Aces was a good movie.
Smoking Aces is just an acid trip of a movie, but I love it.
And that kind of started a bit where he was just had smaller parts in movies. Like I think he's just not into you. That's like an ensemble movie. In Extract, he plays Jason Bateman's friend, and Extract's a pretty funny movie. It's Mike Judge. And then at this point too, he had directed the movie Gone Baby Gone, which I haven't seen, but I've heard like that's actually a pretty good movie.
Oh, dude, Gone Baby Gone is amazing, and Casey Affleck, that movie. Before that, Casey Affleck, I could be mistaken. In my knowledge, Casey Affleck hadn't been in much before that, especially like a starring role. And Casey Affleck fucking kills it in that movie. He is so good in that movie.
I haven't seen that movie, but like he's great in Manchester by the Sea, and even though he's in Oppenheimer for like 2 scenes, I think he's great in Oppenheimer too. Then he made The Town, which completely revitalized his career. The Town is a great movie. He not only acted it, he directed in it, and that just led to him getting this good reputation of like he's a great director, and you know what, he actually is a good actor. And then he started making things like Argo, Gone Girl.
You know, for the longest time, I thought he directed Gone Girl. Like for years, I thought he directed Gone Girl, and he actually
Yeah,
didn't. He
you
just
know
started
what?
it.
I think I just thought he directed Gone Girl too, but you know David Fincher directed Gone Girl.
Yeah, it's a David Fincher movie. Great movie, but like
Yeah,
for
he's
years,
great.
I thought that was a Ben Affleck movie, like made, and it's not. He just starred in
Yeah. And then he was pretty good in a couple bad DC movies.
it. That's fair.
Yeah, where he had a really good Batman and not so great material surrounding it. And then he's also in The Accountant, which then he made a sequel to it 10 years later, which was still
Both
pretty
are
good though.
really fun movies.
So I kind of go over this to kind of just like kind of for people that aren't aware of Ben Affleck's career, he has like this he has like these weird eras in his career where oh, Christmas time, I forgot. He was also in Surviving Christmas, which is terrible.
Yeah, about to say
Anyway,
that was not a good movie.
back to, back to my point. So he kind of has like his pre Good Will Hunting career, his post Good Will Hunting career, and then his post. I don't know if I would say it starts at Gone Baby Gone or The Town, but kind of like his directing career led to him having better opportunities as an actor. So Reindeer Games falls firmly into that middle era where Ben Affleck was still really popular and people liked him, but he was also kind of a joke.
Yeah. That's the thing. Back in Reindeer Games, he wasn't even a joke. Like he was kind of like you said after Good Will Hunting. Like he was shot up to the A list.
It's probably Surviving Christmas, where it's just like, or no, I think it was Geely that kind of put him in that. Oh, this guy's
Yeah,
get him off our screens.
I think I'm the only person that thought Julie was a meh movie.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure if we go on Letterbox, there'll be like a 4-star reviews. Like people were wrong about this movie. I like the part where Jennifer Lopez said "gobble gobble." So with that kind of out of the way, we can finally get into Reindeer Games, which Christmas is very essential to this movie. So I honestly will call this a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I mean, even the name of the movie is Reindeer Game. So like right then you're taking a line out of a Christmas song. But then like in the movie itself, the people's names like they're all like Christmas ish. They're Christmas names. You have Nick and Gabriel and
Rudy,
yeah, Rudy.
Michael, could you read the plot of Reindeer Games? I put it.
I can. After assuming his dead cellmate's identity just to get with his girlfriend, an ex-con finds himself the reluctant participant in a casino heist.
That's yeah, it's a pretty basic plot.
Yeah, very.
um, this movie begins with Ben Affleck's character Rudy Duncan. He's in jail, and his cellmate is Nick Cassidy, played by James Frain. These names are very important because you're going to hear them a lot throughout this whole movie.
Especially Nick. Oh my god.
They're about 3 days away from finally, getting out of prison. This really confused me, and our justice system has issues, so I guess I'm not surprised by it. But Rudy got 5 years of maximum security prison for Grand Theft Auto.
Mhm.
Like, it doesn't say like he killed anyone or anything like
No,
that. He just stole a car, and it's like,
but apparently he like they give you little hints throughout the movie that he stole a lot of cars apparently. Like
yeah.
he was apparently like he did it a long time like cuz there's a lot of really bad lines about him stealing cars. I can't remember what Nick did though to get in
Oh,
jail.
he he beat a guy to death to protect his girlfriend.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
His girlfriend Millie, who was his girlfriend before he was in prison, not to be confused with his girlfriend Ashley, who's been sending him letters in prison.
Yeah, they're definitely not the same person.
Yeah. And he has a million pictures of Ashley, like hanging his wall, which I don't think they let you do in maximum security prisons, but I've never been to prison, so I don't know. Yeah, apparently they've been Ashley has been sending Nick letters for months now, and because Rudy has nothing else to do, he just listens into the letters. Probably jerks off to him when Nick goes to bed.
You know what? The whole scene of them in jail, enjoy it because that is the only part of this movie that's not goofy and just completely silly.
Yeah, I mean it gets kind of goofy later on.
Well, yeah, that's true with
So,
Isaac Hayes. I didn't think about that.
yeah, so
But I don't know. It's kind of like a sweet, like not sweet, but like it kind of reels you in. Like, okay, that's gonna be the tone of this movie because like Nick's like, oh, dude, I can't wait to get out this Ashley chick. She's gonna be waiting for me, and it's gonna be awesome. He's like, what are you gonna do when you get out? And Ben Affleck's character Rudy, is just like, oh, I just want some pecan pie and some hot cocoa. And I'm like, okay, like that's kind of I can see the vibe of that. But then like when it all changes.
yeah. Rudy's Christmas is ruined because his friend Nick is stabbed in a prison riot. A riot started because Isaac Hayes finds a cockroach in his jello.
There's monsters in the Jello. You don't understand.
Nick is stabbed with a shiv. I
Hold on, I just want to touch on this because I forgot about the. I lied. It does get silly in prison because not only does Isaac Hayes find one cockroach in his pudding or Jello and start ranting that there's a monster in the Jello, I can buy that a prison Jello has a cockroach in it. Every single inmate picks a cockroach out of their Jello. All of them. So it's not just like, oh, a stray cockroach got into the Jello. Whoops. This is literally cockroach Jello. Like everybody has a cockroach in their Jello.
if they see Snowpiercer, you're supposed to grind them up into bars, not just put them in
Exactly
the fridge.
right. And not put them in Jello. It defeats the whole purpose. Then everybody knows what they're eating.
And so yeah, that causes a riot, which then leads to Nick getting stabbed with a shiv. Now Rudy has no friends. Um,
Oh, no friends. But what's funny is like he gets over it because this
yeah,
is the part of the movie. This was when my belief in this plot just went out the window because like for 5 years these two have been like supposedly the movie tries to sell you they've been cellmates, they've been really good friends, been there for each other for 5 years. He dies, gets murdered, right? Literally dies in his arms, and he gets out of prison the next fucking day. He don't it looks like he just is like ho hum whatever, don't have no care in the world. Then he sees this Ashley chick outside the bus, and he battles himself a little bit. I will give him that. He's like, no, you can't do it. You can't. He's literally talking to himself on the bus. He's like, don't do it, don't do it. You're not gonna do it. And then of course he does it, and he gets off the bus. He's like, hey, I'm Nick, and you're like, okay, so you're like the biggest dick ever. For not even caring that your best friend just like got murdered. Now you're gonna steal his girlfriend?
he just decides to pretend to be Nick. Ashley doesn't try very hard to vet him. She's just like, I thought you had
Not at all.
curly hair. And he's like, oh yeah, I do, and it's longer. And it's like, but your hair's kind of long now. There would be signs of
He's like, I promise, when it's long, it's curly.
it's like an inch long, and it's like, no, no, no. When it gets to like 5 inches, then it gets curly.
Yeah.
Then like see, I would feel bad. Well, I'd probably feel bad after I have sex with her, to be honest. Then I'd probably be
Right.
like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's just no remorse there. The least he could have done. My play in this movie, I thought of this when I was watching it. This would have been my play. I'd have been completely honest. I would have went to her and be like, look, I've seen pictures of you. Nick was my cellmate. And, he unfortunately got murdered yesterday. It really sucks. But, I would love to, take you out and tell you about him. Try to get in her pants that way. Granted, there would be no movie then. But still.
that definitely would have been a better idea. Just telling her the truth. But, to be honest, like, the second like, even if this came first, I think the thing that threw me off is she bought him, like, a really nice coat.
Right.
And it's just I could just see myself be like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Rudy, I'm not Nick. Please don't buy me a coat."
And of course they, have sex like the very afternoon. So he does not even have to try.
Like, they do establish that, like, he does like to eavesdrop in the letters. I mean, because probably, Nick would just read them out loud like an asshole. Um, there was one funny thing in the diner where, like, Charlize Theron was just like, "Man, I thought you would take one look at me and then just walk away," and it's like, that moment, he should have known there was something up.
Right. Like literally look at you. Like, okay, who what especially what prisoner who's been in prison about a bunch of dudes for 5 years is gonna look at her and be like, I'm good.
I don't I think when I, like, watched this the first time, I assumed that maybe she's, like, kind of, like, portrayed herself as, like, like, I don't wanna say trailer trash, but, like, more of, like, a some girl, like, out in the sticks.
Yeah.
But if you look at her picture, she seems to go to a lot of places, so I maybe not. Maybe she's just, like, a normal woman that looks like Charlize Theron, and it's like, "Come on, movie."
Right.
I think they do that in Devil's Advocate too. They try to make her seem like just a plain Jane type of person.
Yeah. Devil's Advocate's a much better movie though.
Like, I've seen this woman the only time this woman has ever been unattractive is when she played Eileen Wuornos, and that's just because they made her look like Eileen Wuornos in
Yeah.
Monster.
I don't know. Speaking of attractiveness, Charlize Theron is one of those actresses that like everybody's like, oh, she's so beautiful. She's never really done anything for me. I think she's a great actress,
Mm,
in other movies, but I don't know. I never really found her like she's not ugly, but meh.
yeah. And you think the rest of the movie is just gonna be nice, happy
Yeah.
romance between the 2, but then you remember, "Oh, yeah, didn't this movie open with, like, 4 dead Santas?" And then he gets beat up by a bunch of truckers. The truckers were played by Clarence Williams III, who plays Merlin. Um,
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, who plays Pug. Oh, no, sorry. Danny Trejo plays Jumpy, which there's some,
Jumpy.
which there's some connotations in there where I don't know if you should be calling a Mexican guy Jumpy.
I never put that together.
And it reminds me of because I know you used to watch WCW. Oh, this is a pay per view though. I don't know if you saw this. WCW had the uncensored pay per view where it was
Yeah.
the NWO versus WCW.
Yeah.
Was it uncensored? I can't remember. Sorry, wrestling
They
fans.
had sold out and they had uncensored.
It was sold out. That's what it was. And like all like the NWO guys had the music, and then like none of the WCW guys had their music. It was just the NWO announcer just like making fun of them. And Eddie Guerrero had this match against Six, who you might know more as X Pac or Sean Waltman. And when Eddie Guerrero came out, the guy said, "And now coming out, the Mexican Jumpy Bean, Eddie Guerrero." And you can just see Eddie
Wow.
Guerrero get really pissed. And it looks like he just wants to walk backstage right now and beat up that guy.
That's fucked up.
That's what went in my head when I found out that Danny Trujillo's character's name was Jumpy. Um,
I did not think of that. That's horrible.
and then
I
Donald
see Danny
Logue's
Trejo
character,
signed up for this movie. Oh yeah, what's my character's name? Jumpy. He's like, really?
and then Donald Logue plays Pug. Um, apparently, there's some like conflicts about this, but apparently one of these guys was going to be Vin Diesel.
Oh wow.
And then Vin Diesel kept questioning John Frankenheimer on the script. He's like, "I want my character to have more." John Frankenheimer's probably like, "You are a henchman. Just act." And then
I
Vin
mean, to be
Diesel left
fair, I
the
would have a
movie.
lot of questions about the script too.
Vin Diesel, I guess he wasn't happy with the character he had, and then he left the movie. And then, depending on what info you read, he either left to go do Pitch Black or Fast and Furious.
Either way, he was better off.
Yeah, if you know anything about Vin Diesel's career, you know that that was a good idea for him.
So the leader of the truckers is, of course, Gary Sinise,
Yeah.
which is his name is Gabriel, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
Gabriel Mercer. They call him Monster sometimes, but
right.
I don't know. Gabriel sounds cooler.
So then shortly after they kind of like beat up Rudy Ben Affleck for a little bit, you find out that Gary Sinise and Charlize Theron's characters are brother and sister. Quotation marks.
I think he might be my favorite. He might have my favorite performance in the movie, just because
Same.
I like how comically evil he is.
And like speaking of like, I don't know. This is where this movie really just starts losing brain cells for me. Because at this point, like, okay, they and I think this is when they like kind of like say the plan pretty much like, yeah, she actually told me you were worked this casino, so you're gonna help us get in, right?
Yeah, she
Okay.
said he read her letters.
Right. Yeah, he read her brother letters. So right then, Ben Affleck does the sensible thing. He's like, oh, I'm not him. He was my cellmate. He read all her letters, but that's not me. I just pretended to be him when I got out. He actually got killed the other day. And Gary Sinise is like, "Oh, so you just did that to fuck my sister?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Okay, honesty wins out." And Gary Sinise is like, "Well, I guess I'm gonna kill you then." And they go through a pretty good portion of movie with even Charlize Theron's just like, "Oh, stop telling him you're not Nick because they're just gonna murder you." He's like, "But I'm not Nick." So he's
I'm
just
not
pleading with these
Cassidy.
people, being like, "I'm not this guy. I promise." Until they take him out to the end of like the woods and aim a gun at his head. Then finally he's just like, "Okay, I can get you in the casino, sure." And they're like, "Yeah, I knew you were full of shit."
You got me. I am Nick Cassidy.
Yeah, after
Um,
all that.
there is a part that I like where he's in the back. So they're truckers, so they have their like little mobile command center in their truck. Um,
Also cracks me up. I get 18 wheelers are big, but every time that like they show the outside of the truck and then they show like 50 people in this like I'm like, I don't think it's that big. It's like the fucking TARDIS, like it's bigger on the inside.
there's a scene where like he's tied up in the back with Ashley, and he's telling her like, "I'm not Nick Cassidy," and then Donald Logue's there, and he's telling him like, "Hey, don't blaspheme," because he said Jesus Christ. Um, after he finally tells him like, "Okay, yeah, I am Nick," there's this. I'm gonna give the movie some credit. I do like how this movie's shot. There's like a lot of split diopter shots,
So many split diopter
um,
shots.
but I like split diopter shots. So
Well, they're not even done right though, because a proper split diopter shot is both subjects are in focus. That's what makes it cool.
yeah,
Because normally you shoot one, it's in focus, then you shoot another clip, and then you kind of put them together in post, and it looks cool because they're both in focus when they shouldn't be. But this one, they just do split diopter shots like without splicing them, just naturally, and one subject is not in focus, and I'm like, that's not how you do it.
kind of reminds me how in the '90s John Carpenter learned how to do fades. So
Yeah.
if you watch like Vampires or Ghosts of Mars, there's just like millions of fades for no reason.
I don't know, as a camera person, that pissed me off in this movie. I was like, "Stop doing it improperly."
And maybe because I'm not a cameraman, I'm just like, oh yeah, it's cool. And you're just like, oh my god, you're not doing it right.
Right? You're doing it wrong. Stop.
But I do think it's effective during this one scene where like they're like, yeah, yeah, I'm Nick Cassidy. And then like you can see Donald Logue in the background just like kind of pacing. And then he's just like, hey, this fucking guy was saying that he's not Nick Cassidy. Why would he tell her that if he was just trying to lie to us?
They
And
don't care. They're just like, "Wait." And he's like, "No, guys, I'm Nick." And they're like, "Okay."
I do like the line that kind of like ends the scene when they're like, all right, you're gonna help us out. He's like, and here, I'm gonna do you want to say it or do you want me to say it?
What?
You know what? Fuck it, I'll say it. You got to play Ben Affleck in the intro.
Okay.
So they're like, all right, convict,
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking
you're gonna
about.
show us the fucking oh my god, I forgot his line. He's like telling him like, all right, you're gonna tell us the layout of the building, and he's like, and this is what Rudy says. Nah, fuck that. Nick doesn't do anything until Nick gets something for Nick. I want some hot chocolate. You want to hear about some indie casino? I want some goddamn hot chocolate and a piece of pecan fucking pie. And it just cuts.
It's a great line. "Nick,
My
don't do
favorite line
anything
of the
if
movie.
Nick gets something from Nick." I'm like, now he's officially bought in
Yeah.
100% to being Nick.
And they do get him his pecan pie and his hot chocolate. He takes his sweet time eating it, and it's just kind of funny because they're getting frustrated with it.
But
They're
it's
like,
just
okay,
oh, go ahead.
they're like, okay, can you look at the plans now? He's like, oh, I'm not done.
Hold on, one more bite.
Yeah. I do too like how for the rest of the movie, like any romance between him and Ashley is done.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because his perspective is like, what the fuck? You were gonna fuck over Nick this whole time. And she's like, no, I swear, you just because he doesn't even spoilers, he doesn't even buy the con.
Yeah. But then like this part also I thought was stupid because they like he gets done with his pecan fucking pie and they hand him like it literally looks like a 12-year-old drew like a bedroom floor plan or something. It looks horrible. And he looks at it, he's like, "Wait." And it's so obviously I mean, I know we know it's bullshit,
Yeah.
but it's just like who would buy this? Because it's so obvious that he's like giving them shit, and he's just like, "Wait, this is over here. The buffet's over here. They must have finally done that redesign they were talking about. They were talking about changing everything. I guess they did it. Oh well, guess I can't help you out."
And they're like, how much is in this casino? He's like, I don't know, like 5 million. And they're like, 5 million? That doesn't sound accurate. He's like, no, but like the casino owner, he has it the powwow safe.
The powwow save.
Which it's like I like the idea that if this was real, like if this casino boss was skimming money from, because this is in Michigan, so outside of Las Vegas, all casinos are owned by Native Americans. So the idea of like some fucking casino owner who's skimming money from Indians, he just calls it, yeah, I got my money in the powwow safe. Anyways, I'm cutting out the whole discussion that me and Michael just had about casinos. If you want to know, if you want,
So much.
yeah. If you want to know, we'll give you the incredibly short version. Less than half of the casinos are run by Native Americans. All right, so I actually lied. Gary Sinise isn't my favorite part of the movie. It is Dennis Farina as Jack Banks. Now, I've always really loved Dennis Farina. He sadly died like in 2013. So like, unless you watch like movies before then, you don't really know him too much. But he was a cop, like a police detective in Chicago, and then he became a police consultant, and then they just started to put him in movies because he's actually pretty charismatic. So his first big role was he was in Thief. That I think that was like his first movie in the James Caan movie, and then he was in Manhunter where he played Jack Crawford, and then Midnight Run. Get Shorty, I think, was like another one of his big movies. He's a small part in Saving Private Ryan. My favorite movie he's in though is Snatch.
Oh, I love Snatch.
Yeah, he plays the guy from New York that's coming to get the diamond.
Okay.
Yeah.
The scene I always remember from Snatch is, "You like Doug's? What did you just say? You like Doug's? I don't understand." No. You like Doug's.
Oh, dogs. I like Caravans even more. Dennis Farina was like an actor that I really like. And so I think he's good at everything. He plays the casino owner in this one. Apparently he's a transplant from Vegas, and he was hired by the local tribe of this Michigan town to run this casino like a Las Vegas casino. But as he points out, it's illegal to have snow in Las Vegas.
Can't have snow in Las Vegas.
That's a funny line. He's like telling him like, yeah, if you want Vegas casino, we got to get out of this goddamn snow. Pisses off the native tribesmen, and sorry, I got ahead of myself because I wanted to talk about Des Farina for a little bit. Gabriel and his men, their bright idea to go stake out the place is to dress up Rudy as a cowboy and have him go around the casino to look at the new makeover. That's when Rudy meets Jack, who, of course, they think that Rudy's Nick and he works here. So they're like, oh my god, he's fucking telling on us. He's tattling on us. Rudy then has this bright idea of, I'm going to go give Ashton Kutcher my cowboy outfits and then escape. Did you know Ashton Kutcher was in this?
When I watched it as a kid, I probably didn't even know who Ashton Kutcher was. I didn't. I saw his name in the opening credits, which I was like, "Oh, Ashton Kutcher's in this." And then like seeing how small of a role he had, I'm like, "Why the fuck was he in the opening credits?"
This is probably like sometime after I almost said Third Rock from the Sun. Sometime after that 70s show started.
Because like he literally there, he gets beat up, he's out. Like it's over, done. No more Ashton Kutcher.
It's kind of like how Topher Grace is just randomly in the opening of Ocean's 11.
Oh yeah, he was. I forgot about
Oh,
that.
wow. The
Another
same year,
Nathaniel Hyde movie.
Dude, Where's My Car came out.
Okay. I was like, wait, Topher Grace ain't in that movie. I was like, wait, yeah, Ashton Kutcher is though.
Um, so that's kind of funny that he's in Reindeer Games, and then later in the year, it's like, oh my god, that's the guy from Reindeer Games. So yeah, he tries to use Ashton Kutcher as the decoy, doesn't work, ends up getting captured again. I don't know why they don't kill him,
Yeah, they like come close to killing him so many times, but they never do.
because you know what? I do know why they don't kill him, and it's not going to make any sense until we get to the twist at the end. Yeah, they don't kill him. He tries to escape again, but this time he comes across. He hears Ashley like kind of like pleading for help. Then he goes to see her and Gabriel are in a pool together, and dun dun dun, they're not brother and sister, they're lovers, and she was trying to screw over Nick.
Yep, they be fucking.
So that just kind of gets Rudy to be like, okay, yeah, fuck this. Um,
And if you think that's a stupid twist that don't make any sense, oh, just wait.
and so also Rudy realizes that like I think I saw this movie twice and I don't remember this. I think the only crime they've ever done is run guns, but they've never robbed anyone before.
No.
So I do kind of like the scene where Rudy is like playing with that knowledge of the fact that they're not familiar with like robbery protocol. So he's kind of like finally like has turned the tables on them a little bit.
Yeah, because
Um,
even though he just stole cars, he still knows how to like do a robbery.
yeah. This scene in particular has a couple more of those split diopter shots that I'm sure were annoying you.
So much, you have no idea.
And they finally plan out the robbery. They're gonna go as Santas because it's Christmas. Why wouldn't they be dressed as Santas?
Right.
Despite the fact that this casino is in the middle of nowhere, and
Literally in
so
the
that
middle of nowhere.
yeah. So that means a bunch of Santas would have to come from the city to go to this casino, which I'm sure if they're from the city, there probably is a casino. I don't know what it's like in Michigan. I don't know if they have casinos in the city or not.
No, I don't either. I have no idea.
And so the robberies starts. All five of the guys are dressed up as Santa. Ashley's waiting in the car. She's going to be the getaway driver. Rudy wants a gun, but they don't trust him with a gun, which fair. He's lied to him multiple times and tried to escape. So they give him a little water gun, one of those really realistic looking water guns that haven't existed in America for decades.
Right. And then randomly, like one of the guys in the crew, the dude who's like the dude whose job is to just sit in the back of the like 18-wheeler trailer, he hands him like a bottle of liquor, and he's like, "Ooh, I'm gonna pour this in the gun so I can like take a shot."
Get it?
So, but don't worry, that's gonna come into play later.
It would have been funny if have you seen Airheads? Brendan Fraser, Steve Buscemi.
Oh yeah,
It's like Steve Buscemi, he puts hot sauce into like his
yeah.
water gun, and then he shoots it, and then Brendan Fraser shoots it at Michael McKean's face. Maybe think of that. But yeah, they finally robbed the casino. I thought the heist was pretty good.
Yeah,
It goes to shit quickly.
so quickly.
Donald Logue gets blown away as soon as he opens the count room, because as Nick, I did air quotes that you guys didn't see, as he told him, there's no guards on Christmas Day. Which I don't know. If I was a professional criminal and I heard that, I would be like, bullshit.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that.
Yeah. if the casino's open, there's probably going to be guards there.
Yeah, so right when they open the money room, they just start getting blasted because there's like 4 or 5 guards in there, and then they're like, "Oh, he lied to us! Oh, shock, amazement!"
But yeah, they still believe him up until they get into Jack Bane's office and demand for his powwow safe. Jack Baines reveals that no, that actually is. Oh, sorry, big thing I forgot. At some point, Ashley's like, "Fuck this," and she rams their getaway car into the casino to kill out one guard,
Yeah,
and she just drops the axe finally.
yeah,
But yeah, then Jack Baines reveals that this is not Nick Cassidy. This is
and that yeah, and this part really pisses me off because I was like, "Okay, I'm done," because they finally reveal that, like, he's not Nick, he's Rudy, and everybody, even him, honestly, is just, like, mind blown. Like, Ashley's like, "What?" And, like, Gabriel's like, "How did what? You're not?" And even Ben Affleck's like, "Look, I'm sorry, we just sure." I'm like, "This motherfucker told y'all, like, 5 times that he was not Nick, and now y'all are surprised?"
but then he's like, "No, no, no! I swear to God, there is a powwow safe. I mean, I was a celly with Nick for years. I know there's a powwow safe." And so he lets Jack go to the powwow safe, which I don't know if I missed something, and this is just something that Nick may have told him beforehand, or he just got really fucking lucky.
I think he just got really lucky.
Yeah,
He
but
never
there
really
is
revealed that, though.
yeah, but there is a safe behind the liquor cabinet, and it's just full of guns. Danny Trejo's taken out. The rest of them scatter. Nick gets a chance to escape, but he is caught once again. This is his fourth escape scene in this movie.
So wait, okay, this part confused me. I looked down for like 2 seconds. One scene, Ben Affleck's like, everybody's dead. He's just kind of walking through the casino, like looking at everything. And the next scene, he's captured in the back of the truck.
Yeah, I think like he walked out and they pointed a gun at him, and then it just cut straight to him.
Okay, I was like, what did I miss? Like,
It's really funny you said that because I missed that too, the second watch. So it must just be like something really quick.
yeah, because like he was walking around and he was like looking at like dead bodies or something, and he was just like, "Whoa, this place is crazy." And I think I like looked down to see a text or something, and I looked back up, and he's like, like gagged and handcuffed to the back of the truck, and I'm like, wait, what?
We did forget about the part two where one of Merlin, as his character's name is, uh they kind of fight over Merlin's also been like an asshole to Rudy this whole time. He like never trusts him. He always like hits him and stuff like that. They fight over the gun. They fight over guns. And oh no, which one of them is going to pick up the water gun and which one's going to pick up the real gun?
Oh yeah.
Rudy ends up being stuck with the water gun, but for some reason Merlin's like, I'm going to light my cigar. And then Rudy shoots the liquor into the cigar, burning
Yeah,
Merlin to death.
which would not happen.
Yeah.
Like, yes, alcohol is flammable. No, if you light a match or lighter or whatever he had to light his cigarette, and you pour alcohol on it, it's not going to just go and engulf you in flames. Plus, I thought it was really stupid. I'm like, once again, they are just one finger trigger pull away from killing Ben Affleck, and they're gonna get cocky and like tease it and not do it
Yeah.
for like the upteenth time in this movie. He's like, "Oh, you got the water gun. Ha ha, sucks to be you. Guess you're dead now. But first, let me light the cigarettes."
And then somehow me and Michael both miss the 1 second frame where he gets captured.
Literally a frame, probably, of just a gun coming into frame. It's probably a split diopter shot.
Yeah. And so Rudy's captured again. Gabriel and Ashley have the money. They're about to kill Rudy. And then Ashley, since everything's been revealed, she starts taunting Rudy. She's like, "Oh wow, what an asshole you are! Or your friend dies, and then you date his girl."
Like your
But
friend gets
Ashley,
no, he says, "You go. Your friend gets shivved. Did you try to go after his girl?" Or takes a shiv. That's what she says. Your friend takes
yeah,
a shiv.
And then Rudy points out that I never told you how he died.
I thought you were dead. I never told you you had a shiv.
I do like her defense where he's like or knife or whatever. It's like I don't think that's I don't think that's what's gonna save you.
Yeah. So then there's a
um
yet another twist
yeah, she
in this
kills
very
Gabriel.
smart movie.
She kills Gabriel, and then I forgot to point this out, but Nick is introduced whistling silver bells in the opening of this movie.
Yeah.
So after Gabriel dies, you then hear someone whistling silver bells, and it turns out that Nick is still alive. You still want to see this movie? Shut off the podcast now, so you can go watch this movie, and you can experience the twist yourself. Because if not, we're about to break this down. Because
There's a lot to break down. They go to so much like explanation to the movie tries to make this make sense, but it still doesn't.
so what the plan was is Nick wanted to rob the casino, and then he got put away before he had a chance to because he beat up a guy who is like hitting on his girlfriend Millie. Oh, wait a minute. Millie and Ashley are the same person.
What?
And so the plan was, I guess, is that Ashley was going to go find some people that they can use as muscle for the heist. And then they need another guy to like kind of pretend to be Nick in order to pull off the heist. So that way they can all die, all the like Gabriel and his men, and then Rudy can all die and take the heat off of them.
He was pretty much the fall guy.
Yeah. The plan is that Nick faked his death. Originally he was gonna get stabbed in the yard, but then Isaac Hayes had his meltdown and caused a riot. So I guess Nick just turned to the guy that he paid to stab him, like, oh yeah, no, do it now, do it now, do it now.
Oh no, it gets better though, because this guy he paid to stab him is like a lifer. Like he's this big dude who was like at the beginning of the movie he was sent to like solitary because Rudy sold him out. So they sent him to solitary and he just got out and Rudy's like, "Oh, they think he thinks I ratted him out, so now he's going to kick my ass and all this." And like, okay, so this guy who's probably in prison for life and you sent to solitary confinement, he's going to trust this other white guy who's going, "Hey, when I get out of here, I'm going to knock over this casino and I'll give you a little bit."
No, he said he gave him 100.
Oh, okay. He gave him 100 $100. Like,
Yeah.
here, kill me, but don't kill me.
Yeah. It's like just think of all the ramen noodles that he could buy for $100.
All right. All the cigarettes and
This is before prisons had iPads too.
oh, no, that whole that of all the things that didn't make sense to me, that I was just like, this makes no sense.
And then he also had a blood capsule. I guess he smuggled that into a letter or something.
We don't ask questions.
And so the plan was that he was just going to rest up in going back to Rudy not even caring that his friend died. Rudy never confirmed with the doctors if he died or not. Oh no. Nick said he paid I remember Nick said he paid off a guard to lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He paid off all these people in prison 2 days before he was getting out of prison.
Yeah. And this entire plan hinged on the fact that Nick would go up or Rudy would go up to Ashley and be like, "Hey, I'm Nick Cassidy."
Yeah. This whole plan hinged on Rudy being a dick friend.
Which I don't know. We weren't there for the 5 years he was in prison. Maybe this totally sounds like something Rudy would do.
Right? Maybe after 2 years, Nick's just like, yeah, Rudy would totally fuck my girlfriend.
So like literally, if like Rudy just or if Rudy did the honest thing and he went up to Ashley and was just like, "Oh, I'm your friend's. I'm Nick Cassidy's cellmate. I just want to let you know he died." And then Ashley would just be like, "Fuck."
Well, guess back to the drawing board.
She just like talks into her like watch, like Inspector Gadget, and she's like, all right, Nick, it's plan's ruined. Just come out, come out. It's like Ashley, my wound hasn't healed yet. And then, uh, so yeah, Nick finds all this out. Rudy finds all this out. Rudy even points out that like there's so many things that could have gone wrong, and it's like, yeah, this is a very complicated plan, and
Right. And then like it's just funny how hard the movie tries to like, hold on, we're gonna do some exposition here. We promise it'll make sense after. And they get done and they're like, see? And as a movie watcher, you're like, nope, still don't make sense. And they're like, oh well. So once again, they're gonna kill Ben Affleck for the 20th time in this movie. And once again, it would be so easy. Just put a bullet in the dude's brain. But they're like, no, no, no. We're gonna put you in this car, you see, and we're gonna make it look like you flew off this whatever and like, died that way. Because that'll complicate things. And then you get the worst line in this entire movie, which is saying something, because they put him in the driver's seat of the car. The real Nick is in front of the car in the truck, and Ben Affleck goes, "Never put a car thief in the driver's seat of a car."
Rudy reverses the car and breaks Nick's legs, and then he drives into Ashley, and then jumps out of the car. And then she falls off a cliff and gets crushed by the car, and then blown up. Major overkill. If you watch this movie and you don't like Charlize Theron's character, don't worry, she gets a very dignified death at the end.
And then Nick has one last ditch effort to try to like still have the plan, still get the money. And he's like in the back of the truck with no legs. His legs are just crushed. And he's like, come on, buddy, me and you, fuck that bitch. We can split the money between us.
I think he even tried to be like, "No, man, I wasn't really working with her. She was going to be you and
Yeah.
me the whole time."
It was just gonna be me and you the whole time, I promise. Which if you go by the rest of the logic of the characters in this movie, he should have been like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
But no, Rudy kills him. He like takes off the parking brake and the car just goes over it.
Yep. Yeah, something like that. The truck goes over.
Yeah.
And then Rudy gets all the money. And is he gonna go off and live happily ever after and spend all of it?
I mean, kinda. Not with the money though. Yeah, he gives the money to some money in some mailboxes of the houses he walks by.
No,
Um,
he walks back to his hometown because he's like,
yeah,
oh, I just can't wait to go back to I can't remember the name of the town, but he's like, go back to my hometown. And he walks in the Santa costume. He just walks. I don't know how far it is, but he just walks. And every house he passes by, he puts like a stack of cash in the mailbox, a stack of cash or two. So I'm like, that'd be a good day. Just wake up, go check the mail, be like, holy shit, it's like $1,000 here.
I hope the people get the mail, or else the government's probably gonna take that back.
That's true. Yeah.
And then Rudy, which did he even talk about his family all that much in this one?
Nope.
It really seems like the movie implied that like, oh, he has like issues with his family, and at the end he decides to embrace them, and it's like that's never brought up.
Literally.
But yeah, he has a happy ending. He gets with his family. They probably ask him, "Why is there blood on your Santa suit?" And he's like, "Oh, it's a long story." And then they all laugh. So that was Reindeer Games. I'm sure people can guess, but what are your thoughts on Reindeer Games, Michael?
I know I gave it a lot of shit, but honestly, it's a fun movie. It my short analysis of it would be it's a really fun movie with no brains. Because it's very silly, it's very goofy, it doesn't take itself seriously at all, it makes no sense, but it's still a fun little ride. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I've had a weird history of this movie where it's like it's one of those movies that you watch it and then people are like, "That movie sucks," and then you think about it for years and you're like, "Yeah, maybe that did suck." Um,
Like, if it is not wrong, like, it doesn't not suck, but it's not a good movie, I'll put it that way, it's not a good movie, but it's a fun movie, and that's all I ask for from a movie is to be fun, like, you could not make sense, that's fine, have some goofy ass dialogue and twist that literally make 0 sense whatsoever, but just be a fun movie.
yeah, I feel like every time I watch this movie, like I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be bad," and then I just kind of come away with I just kind of come away with it. It's like, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. That's always when it ended. I was like, well, that was stupid. I was like, but I mean, I had a good time, honestly. So
I know like Charlize Theron doesn't look too happily upon this movie, but
neither has Ben Affleck.
yeah. But like I thought the cast did a pretty good job and they kind of elevate this movie to be something more enjoyable.
Yeah. And because we all watch movies nowadays, so we could log them on Letterbox. Let's see what you gave this. What did you give this on Letterbox?
I think I gave it a 3.5. That's probably too high, but
I gave it a 3. What's funny is originally I gave it a 3.5, and I was like, that seems like way too generous. So I bumped it down to a 3. I was like, okay, 3 seems fair.
I'm gonna read a review of I don't know if anyone listening to this is a fan of Red Letter Media, but Colin, one of the Canadians that's on the show every now and then, I follow him on Letterbox, and his review I think sums up the movie pretty good. A trashy, convoluted mess, but damn it, I was having fun watching it fumble its way through each absurd reveal. Have a few drinks and you might enjoy yourself. Dennis Farina is in it.
That's
I
actually
think
good.
that's the best way you could put this movie. This is a ridiculous and dumb movie, but honestly, it's kind of fun. Um,
And I'll read a couple of Letterbox reviews that I'm seeing. One of them from Dustin says, "Fuck you guys, it's fun." 3.5 stars. And Josh says, "A Christmas." Wait, never mind. His review's a lot longer than I originally thought. So hold on, let me find one more to read. What the fuck? Okay, damn it. All right, here we go. Okay, here we go. Another 3.5 star from a guy named Justin. The rare type of nonsense movie that actually gains something from not making a lick of fucking sense.
Here's a 1.5 star review from Theo. It can't decide if it wants to wear its heart on its sleeve with cringe-inducing genuinity or to have little silly fun that doesn't land. I think it's the first part. Well, I don't know. I don't think the first part was the intent, but I think that's kind of where the movie comes. How the movie
Yeah.
comes. Across. Just it's just a dumb thriller with some fun performances in it and just absurd writing.
Oh, what's funny is a good friend of mine, Patrick. If you're listening to this, this is for you. He's a huge fan of this movie. Loves this movie. He like us. He very much loves like goofy, just over the top, silly movies. But he's always said he's like he gives the star 5 stars like every day. But he told me today. I told him that I watched it. I was like, yeah, I watched Reindeer Games the other day. I was like, it's dumb, but it's fun. He's like, did you watch the director's cut? And I was like, there's a director's cut.
Oh
He's like,
yeah.
he said, yeah, it adds 20 more minutes. I was like, I don't know if that's a good or bad thing,
So
but I
I've heard
kind of
in the,
want to watch it.
yeah. I've heard in the past that the director's cut kind of helps the movie, but from what I've kind of read, it just adds like more like nudity and violence.
I mean, titties and guns. Let's go.
Like I think the scene we didn't talk about it, but the scene where Gabriel throws darts into Rudy, that's like extended and more violence.
Oh, okay.
It does have a commentary of John Frankenheimer though, and I would be kind of interested to see because John Frankenheimer seems like he would be really grumpy. So I'd be kind of curious to hear him like just like shit on his movie.
I will say I'm a big Christmas movie fan. I own a great deal of Christmas movies. But every year I try to add one or two more to my collection. I may a reindeer games either this year or next will probably go in my collection of physical media.
I feel like you see it like for $5 at a used video store. It's like, yeah, I'll buy it.
I'm not at all looking it up on Amazon right now to see how much it is.
If I can get Hot Fuzz for $8, this better be like five.
Okay, so you can leave this in or not. It's up to you. I just typed in reindeer games movie on Amazon, and the first thing that comes up is a set of 4 inflatable reindeer antler rings toss. I don't know why I found that so funny. It's literally a reindeer game.
Apparently, you can get the director's cut for $15 on eBay. So I'm sure Amazon's about the same.
The Blu-ray is $20, but it says nothing about a director's cut. Oh, here's the director's cut Blu-ray. That's yeah, about $15.
I'm probably never gonna watch the director's cut.
I will. I'll put that on the back burner for next Christmas. Next Christmas, I'll try to track down the Blu-ray and buy it, and watch the director's cut and see if it's any better.
We should say we're doing the director's cut episode, and I just insert scene. I just insert us being like it's this episode, but then I just insert like, and then in this scene you see her boobs for longer, and then it's just back to the previous review.
Right. That would be funny. You get to see more of Charlize Theron's very underwhelming boobs.
Anyways, that is all we had for Reindeer Games. Um, is it a Christmas classic? No, but I mean, it's free on Tubi, so if you if you wanna kill 90 minutes, I mean, there's definitely worse things you can do with your time.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
Next time, Michael will be talking about Scrooged, which I think we can both agree is a Christmas classic.
Absolutely. I've watched that movie every Christmas since I was a child. I could probably quote that fucking movie. I am going to rewatch it though for the podcast because I watch it every year. But yes, I watch it every year.
All right, everybody, I am going to jingle a bell as we say goodbye.
I hear no
And
bell.
I'm just gonna put a sound of the bell in post.
Okay. Like
Wait,
I
wait, wait.
liar.
Do you hear it now? Do you hear it now?
No. Oh shit! That means I don't believe in Santa. It's magic.
Listen, I just need you to say yes, okay? Because I'm gonna put it in
Okay.
post. Okay. Do you hear it now?
Yes,
All right.
I do believe.
Bye, everybody.